Welcome to EBR's AI Compass Prompt Writing 101. We're the instructional technology team, and today we're focused on one thing, getting the results you want from AI. Before we begin, I would like to introduce ourselves. We're the instructional technology team. My name is Vin Vu, and my colleagues are Shar Coates, Brittany Davenport, and Angelica Johnson-Smith. As the instructional technology team, our mission is to integrate technology to support student achievement and workforce excellence. We do this by providing training, like the one today, and by collaborating with anyone involved to research and evaluate new tools. That's exactly why we're tackling AI. Our goal today is simple: equip every employee with the skills to write effective, safe, and ethical AI prompts that align with all district and state guidance. First, we will cover the why AI, and why now. We must understand the EBR and the LDOE guidance to see why this is so critical for our district. So what is generative AI? It's a tool that creates new content. Think of it as a powerful assistant, but it's a pattern matching machine, not a thinking human. The instruction you give it is the prompt, and that prompt is the key to controlling it. So our core principle is non-negotiable, is the human is in control. AI is a tool, not a replacement for your professional judgment. EBR guidance demands human oversight and decision making. Your prompt is the first step in exercising that control. Why does prompt writing even matter? Because good prompts are effective. They get you useful results fast. Safe. They protect student and staff data, so make sure you're not attaching any student privacy information. That includes their names and anything that's private. Ethical. They help avoid bias and uphold academic integrity. That means your number one job is to critically evaluate. You are always the human in the loop. It is your professional responsibility to check all AI content for accuracy, appropriateness, and bias. You make the final call. So, this is the most important takeaway. AI makes mistakes just like humans. It will hallucinate, make up facts, it will misunderstand context, and it will reflect the human bias it was trained on. It sounds convincing, but it can be completely wrong. So watch out for hallucinations. This is an example. I gave it a prompt. This is an example of a Brad prompt. So GoGuardian, we all know, is a screen monitoring platform. It cannot build assessments, nor is there a lockdown mode. This is a complete fabrication. The AI just made that up because it sounded plausible. The lesson is simple. Trust, but make sure to verify. Always fact check an AI-specific claims. So this training is our first step in building district-wide AI literacy. We're building this foundation together so we all can innovate responsibly.
Now that we understand why AI matters and how it fits within our goals here in EBR, let's jump into the practical side. How to actually write a great prompt. When it comes to any AI tool, the quality of what you get depends entirely on what you give it. If your instructions are vague, you'll get vague results. But if your prompt is clear and detailed, AI can be a powerful, accurate tool. Think of prompting like giving directions to a substitute teacher. If you just say, teach a lesson, the sub might do something. It might try to teach a little something to your students, right? But it probably won't be how you want it. And the same goes for AI. Be clear and specific and guide it like you would guide a new team member or even one of your students. Let's start with the first step. Be specific and add context. Here's what not to do. Don't just put in something like write a lesson on the Civil War. It's too broad. AI doesn't know what grade, they don't know what learning goals, or even how long your lesson should be. A better prompt would be write a lesson for an 8th grade history class on the key causes of the Civil War. Include a learning objective, a 5-minute warm up, and 3 discussion questions. See the difference here? You've given AI the same kind of clarity that you would want from your own students. Your clear expectations will lead to much better outcomes. The second step is to give AI a role or a persona. This is one of the fastest ways to improve results. Start your prompt with act as a, and then you can put in examples like act as a 5th grade math teacher explaining fractions, act as an expert curriculum designer aligning lessons to standards, or act as a school administrator writing to parents. When you assign a role, AI immediately adjusts its tone and its language. It's kind of like just switching your hat. It helps you get the response to match your purpose. Now that you've given AI a role, guide it on how to deliver the information. There are 3 things that you can adjust: format, tone, and length. Under format, you want to tell it how you want the results structured. So you can say things like put this in a table, or list 5 bullet points, or draft this as an email. For tone, describe how you want it to sound. You can say things like use a professional tone, or write it in a friendly and encouraging way. For length, you want to set boundaries. Things like keep it under 100 words, make it 1 paragraph. Write this in a 3-sentence email. On this screen, you'll see how it looks put all together. So a great example would be act as a school counselor, write a short, encouraging paragraph explaining growth mindset for a parent newsletter. Keep it under 120 words and use a warm and positive tone. When you give AI all 3 pieces, your format, your tone, and your length, you get exactly what you need without extra editing later on. Next, you can also set boundaries by telling AI what not to do. You might say things like do not use technical jargon, or focus only on the ethical impacts, or explain this without mentioning any specific students. Boundaries protect your privacy, it eliminates bias, and it ensures that your content aligns with the district's guidance. Here we have our simple formula to remember whenever you prompt. Act as, which will be your role, create, which is going to be your task, and then in, which is going to be your format. Role plus task plus format. Put them all together and you'll have something like act as a 4th grade science teacher, create a short quiz on plant life cycles in table format. It's that easy. If you start with this structure, you'll always have a strong first draft to refine later on. Now let's recap everything that we've gone over in this section. Be specific and add context. Give AI a role. Define your format, your tone, and your length. Add your boundaries for safety, and then use that role plus task plus format formula. Remember, you are in control. AI cannot replace humans. Your prompt guides the AI, and your professional judgment will shape the final product.
Prompting is a conversation. We often treat AI like a vending machine. Put in a generic request and expect the perfect product. But here's the truth. Your first prompt is just a starting point, not a final product. If you only say, write a quiz, you'll get a generic quiz. But if you talk to the AI, you'll get exactly what you need. The key is to use follow-up prompts to refine the output. Think of AI as a brilliant but literal-minded assistant. If the first draft is too hard or too complex, your next prompt should be make that simpler. If a prompt is missing a point, you should say expand on the second point. If the tone is wrong, try rewrite that for a 6th grade audience. You are the expert, and the AI is a tool just to use to execute your vision. So let's look at how this applies to specific job roles, moving from the basic prompt to the gold standard of output. For our teachers, the goal is often differentiating instruction. A simple prompt will give you a simple result. But let's look at our refined prompt. Our refined prompt says, act as a 10th grade ELA teacher. Create 3 different exit ticket questions, scaffold for advanced, on-level, and emerging reader students. So with this, we give AI one role. In addition to that, we gave it context and a specific structure that we wanted it to follow. And because of that, it will deliver a tool that we can use immediately in the classroom. For school administrators, our goal is always effective communication because we know that effective communication is paramount. So instead of a vague email, we want to prompt AI to send an email that is clear and concise. So that prompt should read, act as a school principal. Remember, that is the role. Draft a clear and empathetic email. Keep it under 150 words and provide 3 key bullet points for clarity. This ensures that the tone is right and that the message is digestible for parents. Our support staff, like data coordinators, we know that efficiency is key. So instead of a generic summary, we want to get a something that we can use across the board. So we want to get something that's highly specific that's requested by maybe our school principals. So our prompt would be here. Summarize key trends for my principal in 3 bullet points. Do not include any student names. For this, we can upload the data. AI can sift through the data and present the key information clearly and appropriately. Remember, not including those student names. Finally, I want you all to remember that AI is here to help you to brainstorm and to empower you. Use it to help you brainstorm creative ideas, whether it's for a Black History Month event or for an innovative field trip that you want to take your students on. Use it for automation. Use it to draft those simple, repetitive tasks that will free up your time for student interaction and higher level planning. And most importantly, use it to become unstuck. Sometimes when we're staring at a blank page for a report or a grant application or even a challenging email, we can use this to overcome those blocks when we're getting ready to write a goal statement, a unit objective, or a report. Your final takeaway should be this simple. Be specific, be conversational, and be empowered. Start talking to the AI, and you'll see a profound change in its usefulness.
The last section covers AI guardrails, things to avoid. The focus. Our main focus is to protect student as well as staff data. Failure to do so violates the law and the district policy. PII is referred to as personally identifiable information. PII is never to be inputted. The types of information that's considered PII is student names, students or staff ID numbers, grades, addresses, as well as disability information. The next 2 slides will provide details about laws that are in place to protect student and staff data. These laws usually come up when discussing digital safety and AI guardrails. SIPA was created to ensure that schools and libraries that receive federal funding for internet access implement measures to keep students safe online. So, what that means for us, we are a public educational institution, which means we do receive federal funding. So, SIPA requires us to protect students from online content that could be harmful. Then there's COPA. Under this act, websites, apps, and online tools must get parental consent before collecting, using, or sharing personal information from children that are under 13. We're going to discuss a few requirements. First, you must use only district approved and vetted AI tools. You must cite your sources. It is well known that AI generated content can infringe on copyrighted material. I would say a best practice for using AI is to always disclose when you have used AI to generate content for maybe like reports, lessons, or communication. Following these requirements will help you to model academic honesty. As we close, we have one more slide to look at. And it says, your brain is the final filter. And I actually love the way that this is stated because as educators, we are teaching and impacting the youth. Vetting information should already be a best practice adopted by every educator because we need to know and understand the information before getting our students to understand the information. So it's saying before you use any AI output, ask yourself these following questions. Is it accurate? Is it unbiased? And is it clear? And by clear, it means is it compliant? Is it legal? Is it ethical? Accountable? And is it responsible? So, like it says, your brain, the final filter. So, you are responsible for the AI generated content that you choose to use. And I'm going to leave you by saying this: the final accountability lies with you.